Hey, this is Freddie Flores, and this is my business stats assignment.
So what I did for question number 5 to plot the prices over time for Portland was use the left column, which was year and months, and then the right column, which was Portland and the corresponding home values. I highlighted each part, so this side and then the right column, and I went up to the charts tab. I hit line, went to the line 2D line graph, and it came with this graph right here. So what this graph really tells me is that the prices increased from 2000 all the way to September, from January 2000 up to September 2007, reaching the highest peak, the highest point I would say, at 186.5 in July 2007. As you can see, after that, it did start decreasing because reasons like the house bubble, and it did reach a pretty low point throughout the years. But since July 2012, the prices have been steadily increasing at a slow but steady rate. Um, Comparing what I did after that was compare San Francisco and Las Vegas, and did the similar chart using the left column of prices of the year and the month, and then San Francisco and Las Vegas for the corresponding home values. And then I came up with their charts. So as you can tell, um, both charts have an increased value, positive value going up, and then just like Portland did, like I was talking earlier about that, what I believe caused this to happen was a recession in the house bubble, which they went down, and slowly but steadily, each city is increasing, but it seems like at a slower rate than what Portland is, but they're still increasing per price. All right, so for question number 7, what I did was highlight the left side again, which is the year and the months, and then for each one I highlighted the column for each corresponding city, San Francisco, Las Vegas, and Portland, all the way down to the row from January 2000 to the most recent year. So what I did was highlight this row, and then highlight, for instance, San Francisco row. I went to formulas, went to statistical, and you go down here to standard deviation, which for each corresponding city it will do it automatically. And down here is the values that I have for each city. So San Francisco at 32.694, Las Vegas at 50.174, and Portland at 25.364, which I just rounded. So pretty much what standard deviation tells us is how dispersed the data is from the mean value. So for instance, Las Vegas has a higher mean value, so meaning that more values are dispersed throughout the data. And Portland, for instance, has a lower standard deviation. So for example, if someone were to look at the mean value for Portland, which was 140.07, and they were just to pick a random home value, they would find more prices at the average of the mean 140.07, just because the Portland has a lower standard deviation, so all the values are closer to the mean value of 140.07 compared to Las Vegas, which has a higher mean of 142.61. Alright, so for the histogram, what we did or what I did to create it was use the data analysis from the Excel program, and we're representing the histogram for San Francisco. And what a histogram represents for what we're using it is representing the index values, which is on the x-axis, versus the frequency, which is on the y-axis. So it tells us how often each of these values occurred throughout the data, which was from January 2000 to the most recent date. So you can see the frequency is from 0 to 70, and the values are from 120 to 220. The value of 140 looks like it occurs the most, reaching about 60 times. So meaning from the data, you're gonna find more homes priced at 140 to 159 in the data, reaching about 60 times. So meaning that if someone were to look for a home in San Francisco, they're gonna find more often than not a home priced at valued at 140 to less than 160, so it will be 159 at 60 times. The lowest frequency was 120 and 200, so meaning that you're going to find less home price values at 120 to 139 and 200. So what I did for this one was, because there's so many values throughout the chart, if we were going to put this all in a pie chart, it would be confusing to look at and to understand. So what I decided was to break it up, and the way that I found that would be useful and easy to understand is break it up per month and year. So what I did was I broke it up from January 2005, just for an example, down to December 2005, and I used Portland as an example. So I did the corresponding values of January 2005 down to December 2005, and what I did, went to the pie chart and made it into a pie chart. I came up with this data, which it seemed to me that it could be useful for someone when when they look at this data, pretty much representing the values of each home price index value corresponding to the month and the year. So you could look at the pie chart and determine how much the data takes up, and how much each home price value is at a certain month and a certain year. So it shows the corresponding titles over here, so it makes it easy to understand and easy to read. Put the title up here, pretty much showing that's from January 2005 to December 2005.